Hello there. In a bid to taming rising inflation, curbing corruption, and reducing broad money supply and currency circulation, as well as accelerating the adoption of cashless banking in the country, the Central Bank of Nigeria recently, having redesigned 200, 500 and 1,000 Naira notes, came up with a policy directing commercial banks and other financial institutions to reduce the cash withdrawal limit to 100,000 Naira and 500,000 Naira weekly for individuals and corporate organizations respectively. How will this policy affect average Nigerians and their businesses? Talking about traders, POS, currency sellers, and every other Nigerian. Let's find out this and more on this exciting episode of Street Views on Naira TV.
Please, no, not implement this kind of policy. It's very, very bad. It's no good. It cannot help the country. How can a family man withdraw only 20,000 Naira in a day? If it is time of the children going to school, how can that money pay school fees? How can they buy snacks for the children and give them food in a day? I beg, it's no good. The money are not try them at all. 100,000 in a week, it doesn't work anything. It doesn't solve any problem. It cannot go anywhere. I beg, that policy is no good for this country. We have been crying that the country is no good. Even if you have 200,000 in a hand, in 2 days, in 3 days, the money will finish. We are talking about 100,000 in a week. You want us to become more poor, or maybe we suffer ulcer because of lack of food or lack of water. The policy cannot work. I'm not.
As far as I'm concerned, it's a very good monetary policy, but I feel development to that standard. To me, the answer is no. The policy is very, very okay. It will limit the amount of cash we are carrying around. And besides, the issue of this cash test policy. If we have tried to augment that policy, but we have not developed to that standard yet. Now, for the fact that the limit is based on the amount of cash that you can have or that you can withdraw from the bank. You see, if that one will reduce the issue of carrying a lot of cash around and even throwing our money all around. So in that regard, it will definitely sanitize the monetary policies of this country. But consider a situation whereby I want to buy something of 50 Naira, 100 Naira or 15,000, in which I transfer the money and my account is being debited. But the receiver could not see it based on maybe bank issue and every other. So that's why I said we may not have developed to that standard, but the policy is very, very okay. As far as I'm concerned, with my business, it's very, very okay, because it will reduce the amount of money I will have in my, even at home. So the system is okay, but we are not yet developed. Even if I want to buy something in the market, from the person that I'm buying, he may refuse not to take the money to transfer, but need my cash. But what if I don't have such cash with me?
It will actually affect some of us here in Nigeria, because especially the market movement, which is going to affect the most, because and most of them, they can't operate on these Android phones or all these smartphones, so it will surely affect them that they will not be able to do with their businesses.
If they want to introduce such a policy, it should have come in a very gradual and a smooth process, not automatic process. By giving an ultimatum that they should not withdraw more than 20,000 or some amount. In fact, it's not fair. It's not fair at all. Even the common man that goes to the market with his money and purchases his goods, now how is he going to cope up? Like those people bringing onions from north, they don't know much about transfer. They still deal with physical cash at hand. So I wonder, or even apart from them, we that goes and buy these little things and sell, how do we cope up? It's going to affect the common people. Even apart from the common people, those, how do I put it, the little business people is going to affect them. Even those that are doing business in a big way, it will still affect them. Because when they are not selling, they are not selling, they will also pay, they will not even be able to distribute much. That's on that area. So I don't know how government arrived to that policy.
But it affects us mostly as a business people because depending on how much you want to make in a day, it limits amount of cash that's entering into our business daily. And the POS people, and most times the customers that come into the market, most of them they don't come with money because of what's happening in the market, because of people stealing from them and all that. So most people come with their ATM to do transfer, to do this in POS transfer. And most times if let me say the POS guy, the guy doing the business now, the limit has passed, that's exceeded the 100K. So there is no way he can actually do more, and there's no way we can actually get our customers to actually pay for the business and all that. And most times we that don't have the means to the bank, trying to get money and going to the bank and coming back again. So it is a lot of stress for us as business people. And so I feel it is wrong, like the policy for 20,000 naira in a week, in a day, and 100,000 in a week. I think it's kind of wrong though.
If what they said is not okay. Like, what if I need like 1 million in a day? How will I go about it? I don't know why you said that. It said it maybe because of scammers. Maybe if they want to withdraw money from someone's account, so they won't withdraw much, but it won't help. The advantage is not much than the disadvantage.
Personally, I would say I'm not directly affected, in the sense that I've always been more of the virtual operations kind of person. I do most of my transactions online using my card or using transfer methods. But this does not necessarily speak for the average Nigerian, where we buy and sell right on the streets. How many stores out here do you think has the POS machine? How many of them can actually maintain it? And I think generally the policy is coming at such a time when there are more pressing concerns, when we have more challenges, and it's more or less a misplaced priority, in quotes, to put that in perspective now that there are other things to address. So I believe that it will further make things more difficult. I think naturally if you want to solve a problem, you must look at how to solve that problem without necessarily creating another problem. And from my own standpoint, I believe that this solution presented by the CBN is going to create some more problems than it's trying to solve.
Maybe they should increase it. They should increase it to, or they should leave it how it is before.
Let's move this kind of policy. Let everybody use his money. As much as you can spend in a day, you spend. It's your money. As much as you can make in a day, you make. Is your money.
I don't know what the government is actually thinking for bringing this kind of policy, but I just feel it should remain. This policy doesn't make anything because our government just wake up early in the morning and bring policies that are not helping we the masses, because they know it's going to favor them at the end of the day, which is not favoring us. I feel the policy is wrong and it shouldn't be brought up. I believe Nigeria is not ready for this kind of policy. It's a good policy, but they are not ready for it.
I think the CBN should relax that policy a little bit. So by the time we relax it in the first system, by the time we are growing further and further, the policy might now be totally okay with us, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, going forward, I think the CBN can't sit high and make policies that would affect millions without necessarily putting their own views into consideration. I think a different approach can actually be taken. What I feel from my own understanding of the move is like CBN trying to migrate cash transactions into a cashless kind of transaction. And this measure that is deploying to actually establish that system is a bit too drastic in view of what we have in Nigeria today. So a more subtle approach would actually solve the problem without necessarily creating another one. And a more subtle approach would be to devise means to do perhaps a survey, to conduct a search really on how people can migrate from a cash operation system to a cashless operation system. That would give them more room to weigh in on a more robust database as to what can be applied.
So there you have it on this exciting episode of Street Views on Naira TV, and we want you also that's watching this program also to give us your views on the issue. You can drop them on the comment section below. This probably is the last episode for this year until we come your way again next year, 2023, God willing. We say stay blessed and keep watching Ominira TV. Alright, we wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. I remain your host, AJ Kingsley. See you next year.